Greetings, my fellow pod pilots of New Eden. EddieRio here. You know, for solo PvP, you need a lot of skill and a lot of knowledge of the game mechanics and just a pinch of luck. But let's be honest, I don't have a lot of skill and my knowledge of the game isn't as good as it could be. So I need a lot of luck when I PvP. So here I am in my extra large ancillary shield booster stabber. And I think I've perfected the fitting for this one. This is the one with the cap booster, so it's not got a web, but it does have a cap booster instead. And I think I've sort of been tweaking with the fitting of this, and I've finally got it down. After this fight, we can have a little look at the fittings for it. I'm up against an Augoror Navy issue here, which isn't a fight you should really be taking in a stabber. As you can see, he's already pushed me into hull at one point, and I wasn't even firing my guns for a second there. I think I turned them off briefly because I wanted to put fusion ammo on, which would have been better, but realised that I'm not packing any fusion ammo at all. But look at this, here comes my large amount of luck as he posts in local that he's got no more cap charges for his cap booster. So he's capped out because of my two small little newts, and there's nothing he can do. This is where this stabber fit really comes into its own. As long as I can keep those newts cycling, keeping him from being able to get capacitor, he's not going to be able to apply any serious DPS because his guns won't work, and he won't be able to scram or web me or anything like that either. With the knowledge that he's capped out, I probably should have stopped using my afterburner and just kept at range about 3-4 kilometers to really let my autocannons do the most DPS that they could. But it also becomes a bit of a race against time, as I know there are other ships, enemy targets in local, that will be wanting to come and help this guy out. This has taken so long to get through his tank. I'm kicking myself for not bringing other ammo types, but sometimes I just kind of chuck stuff together quick and jump out because I haven't got time to mess about, and I might only have half an hour or an hour to jump on and see what can happen. I've recently read that faction warfare might be getting a bit of a update or a refresh or some things added to it in upcoming expansion. They talked about a few things, particularly military campaigns, which is going to be a bit more story driven within the faction warfare, which will be cool, something I'm definitely on board with. But although faction warfare is really good fun, I think that there can be a lot of improvements to help really encourage those small scale solo or small gang PvP moments happen within the game. Earning loyalty points through plexing within faction warfare is great, and you can make a lot of ISK doing it, which is probably maybe part of the downfall of the idea as well, in that quite a lot of people will just plex, and any sort of engagement that happens, they'll just warp out and go to the next plex, or wait for you to leave and then carry on plexing. Their purpose is solely to gain LP, not to get in fights. So as he enters hull, he also posts in local that what he actually did was fit a smaller cap module onto his ship and still have larger cap boosters in his cargo that he couldn't use. A rifter jumps in of the same faction as me, and he warns me in local that there's more about to jump in, as they do, so I've got to try and kill this guy quick and warp out of here before something else gets me scrammed. So I think I start to align out as he dies, and then I warp, and I've got a few nail biting moments until warp drive active, and off I go. Great fight, very lucky on my side. He done goofed up on his side. He was cool with it in local though, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. So let's have a little look at the stabber fitting before I go into the next couple of fights that we've got for this video. So I've got kind of two fittings for this, a cheap one and an expensive one. They're both pretty much the same, apart from one does a little bit more damage for twice the amount of ISK. So it's kind of up to you if you want to run that. But I got dual 180mm autocannons, two small neutralizers, extra large ancillary shield booster, warp scrambler, afterburner, and of course the capacitor booster. There are other fits for this that you could use, a web and things like that, but I really like this capacitor booster fit so that I can keep these newts running and the afterburner running, and if someone puts a newt on me, I'm okay with that. I got a damage control, and this is where the fit differs slightly. So the cheaper one, I put a react control unit 2 with 2 gyro stabilizers, and in the rigs I've just got a couple of resists and a processing overclocking unit to make it fit. And this one deals 495 DPS, and the fit that's twice as expensive, over twice as expensive, quite a bit more. I've got 3 gyro stabilizers, and I've got a medium ancillary current router 2. This is the expensive module. This module's 40 million ISK alone. I've tried it with the router 1, but it just doesn't work, and you just can't fit it and make it work like that. And this one deals 547 DPS. This is with hail loaded as well, so this is kind of not always going to be this situation, because quite a lot of the time you might be using Republic Fleet EMP or Fusion rather than using hail, but this is sort of best DPS that you can get out of it. So 547, and the cheaper fit is 495, so that's over 50 DPS more. And if we overheat our guns, the gap is going to increase as well, so you can get up over 600 DPS, 617 DPS, which is pretty good for a Tech 1 cruiser like this. And with the 30mm version, 557. So there's quite a big gap in DPS, but is it worth the extra ISK? That's up to you. So here's another fight with a couple nice bits of luck involved in it as well. I'm in a Scyle Fleet Issue up against a couple of Thrashers. This is also an extra large ancillary shield booster fit. It's just a good fit, something really good module, so I kind of end up slapping it on a lot of things. So one thing I really like about Minmatar ships is that they're both armor and shield, and you can fit them for both in quite a lot of cases and really play around with their fittings. And that is the first Thrasher down, so I'm moving on to the next one. Just about managed to tank that okay, but as that one goes down, a Caracal Navy issue comes in, which is not good. This Thrasher then starts to make range on me, so I keep my drones on him, but decide to switch my guns and point and all that onto the Caracal Navy issue. I probably should have walked out a little bit sooner, but you kind of get a little bit bloodthirsty, and I really wanted to get that second Thrasher, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get it at the moment because he's gone right out at range. I have left my drones on him, so I'm just hoping that those drones will get him before this Caracal Navy can get through my shields. But look at that, that Thrasher only has a tiny bit of hull left and my drones are still on it, and there he goes. What a little bit of luck that is, that he didn't warp out. He could have walked out ages ago, but decided to hang around, and that's an extra kill that I got. Now I've got to try and escape this Caracal Navy issue. I've only got one booster left in my ancillary shield booster, and I know I'm not going to be able to kill him. I've also could do with EMP loaded, but I've got Republic Fleet phased loaded. Although he is taking damage, and my damage seems to be not too bad, I know that he's going to be able to apply damage quite easily. I align out and manage to lose web and scram. I should be in warp at this point, but I'm clearly not paying attention as I should do, and then finally I managed to hit warp. He even is in scram range by the time I hit warp, but he doesn't hit his scram on, which is another bit of luck on my part. But awesome fight there, really enjoyed that. Back in the Stabber here, and just wanted to show you that you don't need a web when coming up against frigs as long as you've got those two neutralizers. Retributions are great little frigs They can tank like mad as well. I think you can have a fit with a sort of a dual armor repper fit, or you can just have a fat buffer with one large ancillary rep, which will do the job. So he's made range here. He started to disengage from the fight a little bit. So I decide not to use my shield booster and try and bait him back in again, which appears to work because he comes right back in again. I managed to get the scram and the newts on cycled this time. Then I can hit my Ansil shield booster and rep back up and try and cap him out, which he might be as well because he's yellow boxed me now, so he might be having proper capacitor issues already. So that's sort of it for this video. If you're not, please subscribe and hit the like button and all that good stuff. And I will catch you in the next one. Fly safe.